All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Veteran Growth Podcast. On this episode, I get to talk to former Recon Marine Bradley Anderson. Now, Brad is from Montana. He met Jason Madden his freshman year of high school. Jason is his business partner. They co-founded the Outlier Fitness Project together. And we're actually going to be talking with Jason coming up after this episode. But Brad and Jason were doing weight training together in high school, and Brad instantly took a liking to it. They eventually decided to join the United States Marine Corps. Brad signed up to be a reconnaissance Marine and served a tour in Fallujah, Iraq with the 2nd Reconnaissance Battalion. After 6 years in the Marines and reaching the rank of sergeant, Brad returned to Montana and went to the University of Montana for a bachelor's in exercise science. During Brad's studies at UM, he was either a subject or a researcher in studies involving recovery in carbohydrates in high temperature environments, the effects of Red Bull on military physical fitness tests, the effects of altitude on wildland firefighter performance, cortisol levels, stress, and performance of wildland firefighters, and the effects of interval training on VO2 max tests. He interned and was an assistant strength and conditioning coach for 2 years for the University of Montana football team. He learned how to coach athletes, teach and coach Olympic lifts, program and periodize programs, teach and coach sprint form, and the science of strength and conditioning. At the end of Brad's time at UM, he was accepted to East Tennessee State University in the Coaching and Sport Performance Master's Program. There, he learned under top strength and conditioning researcher Mike Stone and Olympic athlete and D1 strength and conditioning coach Meg Stone. Brad learned advanced meal planning from PhD student Mike Israetel, was involved in research of athlete performance and periodization, health factors and weight training, rate of force production in powerlifters, maximal strength and rate of force production in individuals doing bodybuilding, and vibration and its effects on maximal jump height. He was the assistant strength coach for the ETSU baseball team and helped manage training for them. He was the head strength and conditioning coach for the Daniel Boone High School softball team, which ranked 50th in the nation, went 50 and 6th. They were the state runners-up. They set the state record for most home runs in a season, most home runs in a state tournament, and had 4 seniors go on to play D1 softball. Since leaving Daniel Boone, Brad has been privately training athletes, bodybuilders, and people wanting to be more healthy. Brad is very excited to bring scientific training that has historically been enjoyed by the elite and high-level athletes to everyone.
Hard work, you pack them to shoot. Hard work, you load them up. Hard work, manifest. Hard work, you gotta do it right.
This is the Veteran Growth Podcast, an audio experience designed to help you create a sustainable, wealthy, and healthy lifestyle after the military. For Army veteran and host Kyle Hartman, the goal is simple: never stop learning or growing. Whether you are recovering, transitioning, starting a business, or just want to grow mentally and spiritually, we have you covered. Together, this community can accomplish anything. We've already proven it. You can find more at www.veterangrowthpodcast.com. Please enjoy the show.
Hard work, I'm earning my pay. Hard work, that's what they say.
All right, guys, so I'm here with Brad Anderson. Brad, I wanted to thank you so much for coming on the Veteran Growth Podcast. It's really a pleasure to have you on today. How are you?
I'm doing good, Kyle. Good, thank you. Anything that I can do to, help veterans out on how they're progressing, transitioning out of the military, anything that I can do to help other veterans out. I mean, that's the goal of this, and I'm really excited to be able to do this.
Yeah, me too. Now, for a lot of people that don't know our situation yet, I wanted to tell the listeners, you are, and they've heard this in the introduction, but you are one of the co-founders of the Outlier Fitness Project. And for anybody who doesn't know, when I got these guys' questionnaires back, I realized that because we were initially going to do one episode featuring both of you on the same episode. And when I realized you guys' spreadsheets, your backgrounds, your education, everything that you guys are a part of, I was like, man, I just was afraid that we wouldn't be able to bring a lot of value into that one episode if we combined it. So I'm excited to, split you guys up. I know I covered a lot of stuff in the introduction already, but you currently you're actually doing some work for the VA. That's sort of like your 9 to 5, I would imagine, still, while you're building a company. And then your passion project is the Outlier Fitness Project. So we'll talk more about the fitness project. What I want to get into first, if you don't mind, is, give everybody a quick explanation of your military background. I know you were a Marine, you were a recon Marine, I believe. When did you get out? When did you start your transition, and how have things gone since then, basically?
Yeah, I am a recon Marine, and I joined right out of high school, went into school infantry boot camp, all that stuff, and then did a bunch of training. And the odd thing is that I try and tell people is that I started out on a reserve contract, but just because of the length of training for recon, I spent probably my first 3 years on active duty just doing training. And then after that, I got back to my reserve unit, and they said, get a week off and then get to deployed.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I had plans for college and all that other stuff, being a reservist, and, I basically spent my first 4 years of reserve time on active duty. And so then went to Iraq, served in Fallujah, I was there at the same time with Jason in 2004 to 2005 when we took the city back.
That's
the second time.
For anybody that doesn't know, that is a very, very tough time to be in Fallujah.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough. I don't want to get too much into that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was a rough time. There was a lot of bad things happening.
And you're expecting to be in college at that point.
Expecting to be in college at that point, but at the same time, I'm glad that I was in Fallujah at the time. I take a lot of pride in that. I went through a lot of hard times, being in a lot of life-threatening situations, and serving my country that way. I mean, looking back on it, I would rather have done that and experienced that than have been in college. Because let's say I did my time in the Marine Corps service. Never caught any combat time. I mean, looking back on it, I have a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, as you should, yeah. And I think it's critical, though, that you still stuck to your plan despite this happening, and you took a couple years of the plan sort of diverting, and you gained that exposure and experience. And no matter what happened, though, you still went to school. You still stuck to your plan. So, I mean, where did all that passion for getting that education come from? I mean, what stemmed that? Was that just what you always wanted to do in life? Yes and no.
Mm-hmm. Just from everything that I did in the training in the military, that I learned that, that anything's possible, that you can push your body to that very, very upper limit, and that once you reach that upper limit of thinking of how far you can go, that you find out that you can push yourself even further than that.
Right.
And whether that's good or bad, I mean, now I see that pushing yourself to those limits and that type of training actually hurts people. And I mean, I understand the point of it, but, that's why I ended up wanting to go into what I did, strength and conditioning world, health and human performance, exercise science, to be able to help people out, because I got broken in the military. I mean, I've got 2 bad knees and, a bad hip. I developed stress fractures in my hip. And the military misdiagnosed me, and it was all because of overtraining. And so that's what I really wanted to get into, was to learn scientifically how to prevent that so that I could help other people to not have this happen to them. And so that was a main driving factor, that, I wanted to help people to not have the physical ailments that I do now because of the way that I was trained.
Yeah.
Take more of a scientific look at it.
And that's what I'm very impressed by. I don't really touch on people's education background a whole lot, but with you and Jason especially, I think that it's crucial to understand how much you guys have actually, how many things you've been involved in that have taught you what you know. Because when I went to your website, the things I've looked at, I'm impressed, basically. A lot of times fitness companies and coaches, they know a lot of stuff, but it's just based on their Google and YouTube research. It's just things they've learned from other teachers. And I feel like you guys have taken, like you said, a more scientific approach to things, and you're curating it into something that's very interesting, which I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you guys say, the Outlier Fitness Project, I like the little slogan of, the Netflix of sports science. And at first, just like anything else, I was like, okay, let's see what this is about, because there's a lot of people that might think they have something new in the fitness world, and we all know the fitness market is very, very, I don't want to say saturated, but I think it is in a sense. There's a lot of people doing it, so how did you learn? Sorry?
It's saturated with crap.
Well, I didn't want to say it because I'm not the expert.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody wants to check out our website, you may want stuff that we talked about. I mean, we've got a whole pile of video stuff right now. We're running October right now, but I mean, that's one of the bases of our company, and I think that really comes from our military background. Is honest. We're very upfront, and we're very honest with people. We're not gonna, if something's crap, I'm gonna say it's crap. Whether or not it's good for our company, if that's the truth, we're gonna speak the truth about it.
Yeah.
I've looked at it scientifically. It is crap, and people might. I mean, I've had battles with people over some of this stuff that, physical therapists, other people that think that they're experts, and I mean, they just can't handle me being just straight up front and say, no, this is what the science says.
Yeah.
What you're doing is hurting people.
I majored in chemistry my freshman year of college, and I was always into science because it provides very factual evidence to any argument. I mean, you can't really go against science because it proves life in itself. And so the fact that you guys went and you just took things to a deeper level with this, and that's why I think that what you're doing has such a good foundation. I know I already mentioned, so you got your bachelor's and then you also got your master's. And through that process, were you guys building the ideas for the company? Or, I mean, how long has the company been around? When did you guys really start diving into, let's really help people on a bigger level?
No, not while I was doing that. Actually, I gave aspirations of completing 20 years in the military.
Yeah.
I mean, I started my bachelor's 7 years ago. Well, no, probably not 7 years, actually 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
When I started my bachelor's, it was about 2007. And I mean, I know it's kind of off of what you were just asking. I don't know how to fit with that, but
No, it's okay.
it's really important for veterans to understand that, when I started out, with the final part of it, with the final product that we had in my master's, there was a lot of things that I went through to get to that point. There were a lot of struggles. I started out at college in Montana, at Montana Tech, and, I drank a lot. I had a lot of PTSD problems. I had anxiety attacks, I had treatment, and I actually failed out of college. I mean, that's not a joke. I failed out of college because I could not go to school anymore.
I failed out too, man, so don't feel bad.
No, but I want to reiterate that to veterans that are out there that, might be having problems that, you see my end product here, but there was a lot of things that I went through that other people are going through, and I want them to understand that, I just didn't throw in my hat. That I fought through it, and now you see the end product of it because I fought through it. So, I went to the University of Montana after Montana Tech, and I was still a screw up my freshman year there. Again, I was drinking all the time. I was having problems. But I decided to seek help, and I started to see a therapist who was actually, oddly enough, people who are in the know, he was a Vietnam vet in the Marine Corps, the unit that was called the Walking Dead, because they had to disband them because they didn't have enough people. They got all killed.
Wow.
And they actually had to disband the unit.
Dang.
So we were able to really relate to each other and talk, and he was also educated, so he was able to help me manage my mental problems along with how he figured out how to handle the stress of going to school on a daily basis.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too. I couldn't imagine, being a combat veteran trying to go back and be a student in a full-time university. I was a terrible student, and that was before I was in the military. I can imagine what I would have done after the military.
Right. And so, and then at a certain point there during my freshman year, I took a course, and they made you outline what you research, what your goals were, and they made you look at what the degrees were that people had.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that a lot of people have their master's degrees in exercise science or sports science. And I said, to my brain, I said, oh shoot, I have like a 2.5 GPA, I need to turn
Yeah.
So at that point, I hunkered down. I mean, I became, literally a hermit. I carried around all my books all day long, and every free second I had, I was studying out of my books. I didn't go out. I just studied. And, I graduated my undergrad with a 2.8 GPA, which isn't too high. But I found the sports science program of one of the guys that is the lead strength and conditioning researcher in our nation, and he accepted me into his program. And from there, I went and got my master's degree, and I graduated there with a 3.9 GPA.
And that was, that was what, an 8 to 10 year process from the time you started. And so what I want to point out in that is, with, like you were saying, with anybody that has their own struggles that they're going through, even before you started getting the grades you needed to get your master's, it's like you still had years of self-awareness where you said, okay, I have to improve still. You decided that you were going to stay in the books. You stopped drinking. But that process of you in your own head and seeking help and learning how to become better and better, I mean, that took 8 years. So for people that are looking for instant results, they don't come. You got to work very hard for the things you want. And that includes getting out of, your own head sometimes, or just learning what to do better next time so that you can excel and get out of the funk you might be in or something. But it does. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and it takes effort. And that's the hard part, is that it takes effort. And people that are wanting to seek help, they probably heard it, but find somebody that you relate to. I got lucky and I found somebody that I can truly relate to, that I can truly talk to, somebody that actually had experience in what I was going through. And so, it really is a trial and error process. I went through 4 or 5 therapists before I found somebody that I could actually relate to and that could actually help me.
What was your process for finding therapists? Did you look online, or did you go through like the VA? Because I know for me, I'm struggling to find a counselor that I want or that would work.
I went to the VA.
The VA,
I started out at the VA.
Okay.
And the guy that I initially talked to, he looked at me like when I started telling him about what I went through and what I was feeling, he looked at me like I was crazy. And he had me on medication, and I actually let my medication run out at that time and completely dropped it for a few years. And obviously that wasn't working for me. And through another veteran that I served with and was going to school where I was at, he referenced me to this guy. So, use other veterans. And other veterans have found people that they can relate to and people that are helping out veterans more than other people are.
True.
Talk to other veterans.
Yeah.
Start out with the VA. But then once you're in their system, talk to other veterans and find out who's actually helping them out and who's doing a good job for them. And that's where I suggest to start out with. See if that person's going to work for you or not. I'm not going to say because they work for another veteran, they're going to work for you.
Yeah.
But, that's a good starting point.
You have to be very open-minded, but at the same point, so does the other end. So does the therapist, essentially. If they're not as open-minded as you going into this situation, then, like you said, it's not going to feel right. You're not going to be able to build that trust that you need to build with them. Yeah, and it can just be, it can be stressful. So, but yeah, thanks for sharing that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that, if they don't relate to you, all it's going to do is cause more anger within yourself. That's going to increase the problem.
And not only that, more doubt, going in to see the next person.
Yeah, exactly.
So you basically had a lot of work to do, to get to where you wanted to be. And I'm sure you feel like you might still have more to do in life. Let's get into some of your experience with your strength and conditioning. So talk us through some of the cool experiences you did. I know you were a strength training coach for the Montana football team, University of Montana. You did some things with the ETSU baseball. You're training a rugby athlete, I think, right? Janine Duncan, or you did train. And then you're helping a disabled Marine vet and Paralympic shot putter, right? Mike Wisnia?
Yeah, I sure do. Mike's a great guy.
So could you talk a little bit on those things? I want to highlight this because I think it's incredible what you're doing for some of these folks. And not only that, but anybody that's out there that might be interested in doing what you're doing. What would you say to just be able to get involved like that? Keep working?
Yeah. Right. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, it's a day-to-day process, but I'll try and give kind of a quick note. So I got fairly lucky at the University of Montana that the head strength coach, Mike Gerber, at the time, he still is, I'm still friends with him, he's very pro-veteran.
Okay.
So through a contact, that was another veteran, he put me in contact with Mike. And Mike had me come in and talk to him. And it started out as just an internship. And it was completely unpaid. It was just that's kind of the reality of it is sometimes you've got to do that unpaid stuff.
Yeah.
People get wrapped around, well, I'm going to get paid. Well, sometimes you've got to do what you got to do before it comes down.
Yeah, I agree.
So in order to get my foot in the door, I had to do unpaid experience. So like I said, it was just doing a ton of research, finding out where I had in, where I could get my foot in the door. Like I said, I mean, it was kind of like that I found somebody that was pro-veteran that wanted to help out that was interested in helping me out.
You could say luck, but you positioned yourself to get that opportunity, though.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly it. And it's all about researching it. I mean, keep counting out, figuring out, where you have it in and exploit that in.
Yeah.
I mean, exploit kind of a bad word, but I mean, that's legitimately what you're trying to do. And I mean, I think veterans relate to that it's a strategy. I mean, I look at it from a military standpoint that how do I exploit this in? How do I get in on this? And then how do I implement my plan based off of what my plan is? So
yes.
That was very important there.
That's important in many things in life, I think.
Right.
Tripling down on what you're good at.
I think veterans understand that more than a lot of other people. And I mean, the motivation is just not to quit. But so with Mike Zinford, the other kind of lucky part about it is that he was a very scientifically minded person. He had trained Dr. McNabb at third.
Wow.
He had a lot of experience. He was a very scientifically minded person. He constantly had me reading research, finding out doing research projects. Well, not research projects, but projects looking at research on questions that were coming up from our athletes. He would sit down and talk numbers with me. I mean, the man is off the charts smart.
That's incredible.
Just how to analyze stats, how to analyze results from athletes. But the very big thing about it was that he stressed to me was that you can read all the literature in the world, you can do all the research that you want, you can analyze all the numbers that you want, but every single human being is different.
Right.
So in a lab setting, that's a controlled setting, it can be, you can get these results, but then you can actually apply that to individuals and get completely different results. So being able to practically apply that science was a very big thing that I learned there at the University of Montana. And I mean, we were working with people out there should know who Colt Anderson is. He was one of our he plays pro football now in the NFL. He's been there for a while. We took second. We were the runners-up for the national championship 2 years in a row when we were there.
Wow.
So we were working with very high-level athletes. So that was good.
Yeah, definitely.
So at the end of that, I decided I wanted to get my master's degree with the ETSU. Mike Stone is the head guy there, and he's recognized as one of the top strength and conditioning researchers in our nation. His wife, Meg Stone, who was in charge of strength and conditioning coaches. She's a former British shot put/discus thrower, Olympic level.
Nice.
She actually took silver in the LA Olympics back in the late 80s, and she was the first head female strength and conditioning coach in the nation for Arizona football. So I had a very large knowledge base there. And so while I was doing that, he was also assistant strength coach for the ETSU baseball team, had the race leader for NCAA baseball. So we had some very phenomenal athletes there too. And we did a lot of good things with them, did a lot of research on those athletes, long-term research projects, and learned a lot about what works for athletes and what doesn't in the weight room and just training-wise.
That's insane.
And that's where I ran into some other people that I learned a lot about meal planning and athletic performance and meal timing and meal planning, and then also how to apply all of that back to people that just want to get fit, people that just want to get healthy.
Yeah.
And so I really started learning a lot about meal planning and all of that. So I have a lot of experience there. And on top of it, at the same time, I was doing an internship with Danny Bruce Softball, and that's where I met Janine Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, again, another amazing team.
Yeah. Incredible stats.
Runner-up for the state tournament. They were ranked 50th in the nation by ESPN.
Yeah.
I also ran under Janine Duncan at the time, and she, kind of took my own horn. She will tell anybody that the reason that she was able to go on the D1 softball is because of my training programs.
You need to get that testimonial written down, sir. Get that in writing. You'd be just slap that right on the website. That's awesome, though. Congratulations on that, man.
Yeah, so I appreciate it. And it's all about. I'll talk about this here short or briefly. That in my mind, I say that to toot my own horn, and I guess it looks good for promotion and marketing. But in reality, it's all about the athletes, it's about the clients. I've always been told that the second you stop caring about your athletes, your clients, you need to retire.
Yeah.
If you care about them more about, we're running a business, we want to make money, but honest to God, I care more about the athletes and the people I train than my job, about the business, about all that other stuff. Honest to God, I really truly care more about them than anything else.
And I truthfully believe that too, just based on your credibility and everything that you've already done for this project. You're basically you've dedicated most of your life to it. It's for a lot of people, they can't say the same things. Like for me, what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do changed every year when I was growing up and going through college. I didn't know what the hell I wanted. So for you to be that dedicated to something for so long, yeah, man, I wouldn't say it's tooting your own horn, because when I get people that message me about the show and they say, hey, that last episode was awesome, it helped me, it gave me motivation, that's the same thing as you having an athlete saying that, you're the reason they made it. So I would toot the hell out of your own horn for that.
I appreciate it.
No problem. So that does kind of tie us. Go ahead.
And so continuing with the Janine Duncan thing is that she went on to be a Division I athlete. Well, she finished that up and she decided she still wanted to be an athlete.
A boss lady, yeah.
I contacted her because I saw her on Facebook. I said, hey, who's training you? I see that you're doing rugby now. Who's training you? Are you interested in us? And she said, yes, please. I want you to continue training me. And I said, well, of course. And now she plays for the Seattle Saracens, which is a club-level team out there.
Wow. And
when I first started training her, she had aspirations of playing in the Olympics for rugby. And she said, I need to get on a good training program. I need you to get me back to where I need to be. I said, well, of course, I can do that. That's easy enough is what I tell her.
Yeah, too easy, right?
For me, it's easy. It's easy because I've done it so much. I know that I can get her there. It's easy. But for her and her dedication level, that's what really makes it happen. I can write a program all day long, but really her dedication level to it is what makes it happen.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
I started training her, and all of a sudden, she starts getting looks from the USA team. And just recently, she was invited to so rugby separated into two separate groups. There's sevens, which obviously there's 7 players.
Yeah.
Or there's 15s, which is obviously 15 players.
Okay.
Initially, she got invited to the high performance camp, the USA high performance camp for 15s, and they loved the way that she looked.
Mm-hmm.
And then about a month later, she got invited to the 7th camp.
Oh, wow.
Well, after the 7th camp, they announced that she's part of the U.S. rugby team now, going on an international tour coming up in November. And I'm getting her ready for that. She might not dress out for every game. She might not play every match, but
she's on the team.
They're going to be playing Ireland, New Zealand. All these top level teams that she got selected to now.
That's amazing.
And so if she does well out there doing this, which I expect her to, she has a very legit chance to play in the next Olympics.
That's incredible, man. That's I was gonna I forget what I was gonna say earlier, because I was gonna tie that into the whole project. But I know what I was going to say off of that. So you said, you said it was easy because she's just the type of person that you have confidence she's going to stick to the regiment that you give her. She has that discipline. She wants it. That makes it easy. So what are you guys doing? Because that would be my biggest fear as a coach or something, a fitness trainer, is just the people not staying dedicated to what you're providing them. So how do you guys battle that? I mean, is that just the name of the game? Do you just get people who, they'll try it out and they don't stick to your regiment and then they complain that it didn't work? I mean, how does that all go for you guys, for you fitness guys or your sports science guys?
Well, yes and no. So there is a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do, we do everything we can to prevent people from losing motivation, from dropping off. Because one, my second love truly is sports psychology. So I've taken a lot of sports psychology classes. So I really understand the psychology of what drives people, what motivates them. Basically how to coach different personalities, deal with different levels of motivation.
Uh-huh.
But what really differentiates us from a lot of people out there, and I truly believe this, is that our level of coaching of people, of being able to talk to them, being able to say, hey, this is what you're going through. I've gone through this same experience as you. This is what I've done in the past, and I'm going to give you the tools to fight through this. And I think that a lot of other places, they just allow the revolving door. We expect there to be turnover.
Mm-hmm.
That is part of the game. That is part of the business. There's going to be turnover. But, if you're just going to let the turnover happen, are you really truly trying to help people?
Well, and I think you guys are doing something to help with that too, with the way you design your business. The whole idea of the Netflix of sports science, to me that caters to those people who might not be as dedicated, that really need it just to be handed to them on a silver platter. You guys seem like you're making it very easy to get this down. I don't know. Your website looks really intriguing. Did a lot of that happen because of some of those experiences? How did you guys start to form those ideas for the company?
That's always been my ideas. Me and Jason have been for years and want to start a gym together.
Mm-hmm.
And decided that this was a better business model as the internet moves, because we're separated from each other, and the saturation of gyms these days, that this was a better business model doing it this way. But I've had these ideas in my head for years. This is how I operated as a strength and conditioning coach in a weight room. Honest to God, this is nothing truly new.
That's good.
I've been operating under this mentality that you guys see on our website, that we talk about. I've been operating underneath this mentality since my very infancy days in strength and conditioning. And it was tailored by the people that I worked under Mike Gerber specifically. These ethos of, no-fat fitness, not trying to bullshit people, not trying to trick people, just being straight up with people and sticking to the scientific way of doing things.
I was just going to say, sticking to science. That's exciting, man. Yeah, well, we're coming up to the close of the episode. I don't want to cut it off without leaving you, to say whatever you might want to say. I know this. I'm excited for these episodes because I really was passionate about getting you guys' stories out there. I want people to check out the website, definitely. And at least, at the very least, just spread the word about you guys throughout our community if you guys don't actually get on their weight plans or their meal plans. But at the very least, we want you guys to check out the website. Brad, if there's anything else you'd like to additionally say before we close out our episode, you have the floor, my man.
What you're saying, check out the website. Check out our Facebook page, please.
Okay. I can tag that on here too.
Yeah, please. We're not like these other companies that you go to our website, you go to our Facebook page, and we just talk about what we do, but it's some big secret.
Oh yeah.
We're constantly putting information out there, free information about how we do things, why we do it. But even if you're not on our program, there's a huge amount of information, a huge amount of knowledge that we're putting out there to help you, even if you're not on our program. I mean, it's obviously going to benefit you if you're getting us building your programs, us motivating you, us coaching you. But please check out all this free information we're putting out there. I mean, that's the goal. That's the goal of mine as a scientist, help people.
Yeah. People that might think they want to do something like this would be a great way for you to not have to pay money, but still learn and grow and realize, okay, yes or no, this is something that's for me. But like you said, it's free. So, and looking at you guys' track records too, I already know that it's very valuable. I've already seen some of the content, but I can tell anybody listening that these guys don't play around with this stuff. They really have it down to the science. And so what you'll learn is going to be very valuable from that. But Brad, it has been an absolute pleasure. I know you're out in Montana, correct?
Yep, I am.
So I will. I'm going to get on the phone right after Brad. I'm going to be talking to Jason, and we're firing out 2 episodes back to back today. But Brad, it has been a great episode. This has been a perfect start to the 2-episode series, and I can't thank you enough for coming and talking, man.
Hey, Kyle, we both of us truly appreciate you giving us the time to be able to do this, dude. I really truly hope this helps out a lot of veterans.
I think it will, my man, and I'm excited too because what's really beautiful about a podcast is now this will be out forever. So I mean, as long as I'm around, people will be able to come back and reference this interview. They'll get to check out. So I mean, it'll be out for years to come, and yeah, I'm looking forward to sending people your way when they're getting involved with sports or just trying to bulk up or whatever the case may be. I know I can send them to some trustworthy people, some sources. But yeah, everybody, no problem, Brad. Everybody that's listening, thank you guys as well for tuning in to what Brad and I had to talk about. This has been another great episode of the Veteran Growth Podcast. Stick around. This has been episode 5, and you'll see episode 6 coming right after this one. Have a great day, everybody.